All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night team Zoom. It's great to see your faces. Here we are again. If you're joining us live, thank you for joining us live. And if you're tuning into the recording, thanks for watching us back. Tonight, we are covering a very, I want to call it a hot topic, but maybe it's just a popular topic, or maybe it's a topic that people are like, I just can't wrap my head around it, and I want more information. And so tonight we are talking about fundraising with Scentsy. We're going to give you kind of the overview understanding of what fundraising with Scentsy means, and then we will give some examples of how some fundraisers are run, and give you some ideas. And then if there's any questions, drop those questions in the chat. We will try to field those as well. But yeah, we'll see. The time is going to fly tonight because we have a lot to cover with regards to fundraising. So we're going to get started. There are a few announcements I want to call your attention to before we dive into our topic. And also, before I do that, even, hello, on behalf of myself, Melissa Gratz, Andrea Hatch, Tammy Frazier, and Anna Hughes. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. You are part of our family of teams, and we appreciate you. So thank you. Okay, couple announcements to call your attention to since last week. Obviously, you know that the Beetlejuice collection has been delayed. It's to be determined. It was supposed to launch yesterday, but it is to TBD. So you probably knew that already. There is some new Scentsy Club exclusive items that have launched or dropped. If you don't know what that is, and this is why I'm covering that, if you are a Scentsy Club subscriber or you have a customer that is a Scentsy Club subscriber, they get their own set of Scentsy exclusive items that only club subscribers get to purchase. When they log into their Scentsy Club account, there is an exclusive category where they get to take advantage. That's the word I was looking for. They get to take advantage of club exclusive perks. I didn't know if everybody knew that. And so I wanted to call attention to that. Scentsy just updated the new perks for August. So don't ask me what they are yet. I haven't logged in to see. But I'm just letting you know that they have been updated and that they exist. Scentsy is also, they worked through adding the clearance items into their appropriate categories on the workstation. No, on the PWS on your website. So if you used to shop the clearance section, or you used if you used to shop just, let's say, the wax bar section in your PWS, only the full price items showed up in the wax bars. But then if you went to clearance, there was a whole different set of wax bars that appeared in clearance. Scentsy is combining the two and now adding the clearance products into their appropriate categories, because research finds that people buy more when clearance items are intermixed within regular category items. And so that change you will start to see. Director Bootcamp is open. And the Gordy Goodness wax collection is on back order. So we sold out of the ones in the cute little organza bags. Scentsy is going to continue to allow us to take orders for the Gordy Goodness. But when the fragrance oil comes in for them to pour those bars will ship without the organza bag and without the little tag. But it will be the Gordy Goodness collection minus those two items. So you still can get them. You just don't get them in their little bag with the tag. And that is our major announcements. Unless, leaders, did I forget anything else that's worth mentioning tonight?
Oh, I just added in the chat that if you do purchase the Gordy Goodness, it will ship sometime in September.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. All right, here we are, the 20th of August. Where has the year gone? That's really my question. Where has the year gone? We're about to be at September 1st. We have 11 days until September 1st. That means 11 days until the new catalog launches, 11 days until it is officially fall season. Just letting you know, historically, Within our groups, September and October are our two largest months of the year as far as sales. And so we are gearing up. People love their harvest products. People love their fall products. It doesn't matter where you live. People are ready for pumpkin in September. And so very, very exciting. It is the most wonderful time of the year, in my opinion. And that isn't just because Halloween is coming. But maybe. All right. So let's talk about fundraising. Fundraising with Scentsy. It can seem confusing or overwhelming. And then once you understand the general concept behind fundraising, you're like, okay, I get it. And now I know how I can create any type of fundraiser for any type of organization that might need fundraising. So fundraising with Scentsy is actually, the concept is simple. You have a product that you can offer for people to purchase, and you can donate back to the organization when those purchases are made. So I probably really stunk at just explaining this. Let me say it a different way. Let's just say you have an organization that wants to raise funds. You have the ability to offer that fundraising opportunity to that organization by way of, first and foremost, your commission or a portion of your commission. So let's just say, for instance, that you did a fundraiser. Well, no, let me back up. There's many types of fundraising guys, I'm struggling. Voice is struggling and it's throwing me off.
It's fine. You're fine.
There are many types of fundraisers you can run with Scentsy. You can run individual product fundraisers, meaning you only offer one specific product and everybody purchases that specific product, also known as like a Scent Circle fundraiser, right? Where you're just focusing on that particular product and everybody goes out and sells that particular product, and then a portion of their sales goes back to them based on how much they sell. You can also do a full catalog fundraiser. You could offer an organization and its participants a shopping link, and any purchase made through that shopping link then goes into that fundraiser party. And whatever the total amount is, if you say that you're giving that organization 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%, whatever you decide, then whatever the total party amount is before tax and shipping, your percentage of your commission is what you would donate to that organization based on the size of their fundraiser. You could do this as an in-person party event where everybody that shows up, all purchases that are made in this 2 to 3 hour time block, same thing. A percentage, depending on what you set it at, would go back to the organization. Now, when you do a particular item fundraiser, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it where you charge the catalog pricing for that item. So in the case of the Scent Circle fundraiser that we have, by now, you guys are probably familiar with because we've been talking about fundraising so much in August. In the case of the Scent Circle fundraiser, 6 Scent Circles in the month of August are $13.50, right? Because it's normally $15 for a 6-pack, but they're 10% off this month, which is $1.50 savings, which makes a 6-pack of Scent Circles $13.50. You as the consultant can decide if you want to charge $13.50 for those Scent Circles and donate your commission, which $13.50, if I was giving 20% back to the organization, would be $2.70 per 6-pack sold. Now, I don't want to lose you by throwing numbers at you, but I want to show you the difference between what I'm saying. So you charge $13.50, which is what it costs you to place the order for the Scent Circles, and you give, let's just say, your 20% commission back to the organization. So for every 6-pack of Scent Circles they sell, they will get $2.70. Okay. What you've been seeing, however, is Scent Circle 6-packs being sold for $20. That $20 is what makes up the difference. Well, it doesn't make up the difference. it allows you to give more back to the organization. By charging 20, you are giving, so let's say on that $13.50 pack of scent circles, you have $6.50 that is on top of the $2.70 that you would have given if you were just charging the straight up pricing. So that's why with fundraising, you will see inflated prices on items. That inflated price is not money going back into the consultant's pocket, or shouldn't be. That inflated price is the fundraising price so that you have the ability to offer more to the organization. So if you were doing the $20 6-cent circle route, you were giving $8 per 6-pack back to the organization for every 6-pack of scent circles sold, instead of the $2.70 per 6-pack if you were charging the at cost amount. Now, with anything with fundraiser, people will say, but how are we allowed to increase the price? Yes, we are. However, we cannot publicly advertise, because it's actually considered a personal special that you are charging $25 for or $20 for a 6-pack of scent circles and giving the organization back $8. That's a personal special. Because let's just say Amy comes along, she's a consultant as well, and she wants to do the Scent Circle fundraiser, but she's only willing to give $3 per 6-pack of scent circles, and she's going to charge maybe $16 per 6-pack of scent circles, whatever. I'm throwing a bunch of numbers at you, and I'm hoping I'm not confusing you. But the bottom line is, fundraisers, when you are increasing, actually fundraisers, period, if you cannot state the give back. That's not, now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize that you cannot publicly advertise what your give back amount is going to be. You can say, hey, if anybody's interested in doing a fundraiser, you have the ability to earn up to, a certain percentage of your sales back for your organization, but you can't specifically say. It has to be communicated one-on-one. So I can text my customer one-to-one all day long and say, hey, we're going to run a fragrance flower fundraiser for you in September. We're charging $25 per fragrance flower. Your organization gets $9 back on every flower sold. I can communicate that one-on-one with my customer. And that's an example. But I can't post that exact thing on Facebook publicly for everybody to see. Somebody would have to private message me to get the details of the fundraiser. Okay. Anna, step in for a second. What have I not covered well besides all of it?
Oh, you definitely covered it well. The only thing that I added, and I added it in the chat, is that anytime you're offering anything that isn't on the personal website or isn't in the catalog, Scentsy's not offering it, or the pricing is different than what Scentsy is offering it, it's a personal special. So if it's not something that any other consultant would be offering as a base agreement, it's personal special. So you're gonna advertise that one-to-one. So you would never say that you're doing a Scent Circle fundraiser, or that you can do Scent Circle fundraisers and you're willing to sell them for $20 each and to give the organization $8 back per pack. You can't do that. You can say that you love doing fundraisers, you love to tell them about fundraisers, that you have an amazing deal for fundraisers. You can do all of that publicly. You just can't give the details of it, just like any other personal special. So just be aware of.
Thank you.
The other thing is that Josh added that when you take that little bit of overage, it is also going to cover the tax. So the tax is included in all of that as well. I also like to tell my customers or my participants that the shipping is included in that to me, because at the end of the day, if I were doing a fundraiser and it were on my personal website and I agree that I'm going to give them a 25% of my commission, 25% on their purchases, my commission, or whatever, they're going to place those orders on the website and pay $10 shipping for their orders. If I'm doing a fundraiser and I'm collecting orders for fragrance flowers or scent circles or whatever it is, and I'm having everything shipped to me, that's saving each customer $10 shipping for every order that they've got coming in. So yes, we're charging, I'd be charging $25 for a fragrance flower that only really costs 18, but that also includes the tax. And that also includes a shipping charge to me where they would have paid $18 plus tax plus $10 for shipping. They're getting a better deal already. Do you see? So while you're marking it up, it's still a value for them, period.
Yeah. And that works especially well though if the customers are all local. If
Right.
the customers are local and we don't have to do any kind of shipping. Again, that comes that comes down to the coordinator, the type of organization. Is it local? Is it a team, a school? How many participants are you working with? That's the one thing about fundraisers, that it isn't necessarily a one size fits all. I wish it was, but it isn't. Because how you run a fundraiser with 6 participants can be vastly different than how you run a fundraiser with 1,000 participants. The materials you'd be able to give to a 6 participants are going to be different than what you do for 1,000 participants. When it comes to 1,000 participants, you're probably going to go the route of a digital link and digital flyers and digital, digital things. But if you're dealing with 6 participants, you might be able to say, here's a rub and smell sheet of some of the fragrances that are offered. You can really cater to those 6 participants. So you see, you have to understand the concept of fundraising so that you can then take the situation and cater your fundraiser to what will work best in that situation, if that makes sense. Now, I loosely grazed over in the beginning that you can do product specific fundraisers. There's consultants that do buddy drives, and how you do a buddy drive could be done 10 different ways. You could just collect donation money toward your buddy drive, and then once you get a certain amount of money, place the order to buy only buddies that are turning around and being donated to. Again, do you have an organization that will take scented stuffed animals? Do you have a relationship with some, a school or an organization for children, or whatever the case may be? But or you can do it where customers sponsor a buddy. So they would pick a buddy out of the catalog and say, I want to, or off of the website, off of the clearance section, wherever, and say, I want to sponsor this particular buddy. Okay, then you collect their money for that buddy and you place the order for that buddy. And you collect all of those buddies, and those buddies are given at one time. Or those buddies aren't given at one time. They're given 1-to-1 based on, again, it's a buddy drive, and explaining the logistics around a buddy drive is kind of like my scenario with 6 participants versus 1,000. Every fundraiser is going to look a tiny bit different based on how you are running it, based on if it's local, if it's not local. Like right now, I'm doing a Scent Circle fundraiser for a volleyball league in Texas. I'm in Michigan. So how I do that fundraiser long distance is different than how I would do the fundraiser if that volleyball league was right up the street and I could drive over and deliver all of their scent circles. We had to take into account that I'm going to have to get them their scent circles once I get them in and label them and package them and all of those things. So again, all just a little bit different depending on the organization, the size, the location. But when you understand the gist behind using Scentsy as a vehicle to fundraise, the sky is the limit. There are consultants that have run travel twist only fundraisers. There are consultants that have done buddy clip fundraisers. There are consultants that have done fragrance flower coloring parties, and that anybody that purchased their fragrance flower and came to the coloring party, that was part of the fundraiser hoopla. And they did, you can do things so many different ways. Your commission is what you determine is part of your give back, and whether or not you are inflating price to give the overage to the organization is up to you. Can I call on really quickly, special guest this evening, Amy? Amy, are you ready to be our special guest? No, I wanted Amy. Amy has done fundraising with Scentsy, and you're probably in the midst of a few of them at the moment, maybe because you're always running fundraisers. Could you just give us a quick overall view on how you secured a fundraiser, how you secure, and it's okay to say I have an affiliation with XYZ organization, and that's how we are doing the fundraiser. I don't know if that's the case or not, but sometimes we think that or we forget to think about the organizations we ourselves are affiliated with and offer fundraising as an option. Anyhow, I digress. So, Amy, how you secure it, how are you doing yours? And you can speak specifically to how you are doing your fundraising. And it's solely to just give an example, a big picture example.
Sure. So I'm Amy, and I decided to do fundraising for a couple different reasons. Oh gosh, wow. Okay, hi. So we do fundraisers for a couple different reasons. Obviously, we want to increase our PRV, but we also want to increase our contacts. So depending on what type of organizations we want to get involved with, those are really the main reasons why we choose to do fundraisers. So we also want to try to build better community ties, or ties with the community. And so it's important to get out there, get involved, and build those relationships, because you really want to get your name out there. So how do you get started? Many different ways. Find what you're passionate about. Obviously, 4 kids in band, so band is really important to us. It costs a lot of money, and so I do a lot with the band. So that's one of the fundraisers that I'm doing. But maybe you're passionate about pet rescues. Maybe you're passionate with your church. Maybe sports, travel sports, anything. Whatever you find a passion for, go find those organizations. That's one of the big things, that when you have a passion for something and you can relate to them, then that's going to just help you build that bond, and then you can kind of build those relationships and have something in common with them. So where do you get started? Well, obviously I've been with the band for many years, so I was able to go talk with the directors, talk with the BPA, and say, hey, look, let's make some money. And I was able to talk with them, get them involved, and we do Scent Circle fundraisers, and super easy. The forms are on the workstation. You can create your own if you want. You can go to many different Facebook groups. They already have them. Anna's posted some on our team page, but they're super simple. And like Melissa said, you can do it how you want. A bundle of 6 for $20. Then you give back however much you want for your organization. Keep in mind, again, you want to give them a profit, but you also want to get contacts. So keep that in mind. Post on social media. Let people know that you're interested in fundraisers. But also keep in mind, like, you need to be active in that. If you just post on social media and do nothing else with it, you're not going to get anything. I look for people that are doing, like, their kids are doing travel sports or gymnastics or dance. Those are all very expensive. So reach out to them. You know, they're your friends. Obviously, you're on social media with them. So I've reached out to several of them through Messenger and been like, oh, I see Chloe's doing X, Y, and Z. How's she doing? You know, this and that. If you ever want to make some extra money for help pay for dance, you know, let me know. We can do a fundraiser. Things like that. I've gotten 3 fundraisers secured just for individuals to do that. So what else? Be sure when you do home parties, online parties, vendor events, whatever it might be, just post, you know, that you do fundraisers. That way people know about the fundraisers, and just talk to them, like, you know, so you can have those organic conversations. Let's see, what else? So when you have an organization, so depending on where your organization may be, whether it's the band, meet with the organization leader, talk to them and say, okay, here's how much I'm going to give you, whatever you determine you can give back. You sit down, you write like a contract, so to speak. It can be really simple. It's not really a contract, but you agree upon, you know, the date that you're going to start, the date that you're going to end, what the product is, or what kind of fundraiser it's going to be. Is it going to be a full catalog? Is it going to be just a product? What's the start end date? What kind of forms are you going to use? Is it going to be just online? Whatever the details of the fundraiser is going to be. And like Melissa was alluding to, fundraisers can be done in so many different ways that's why it's important to meet with the organization to find out what works best for that organization and you. So just sit down and work out those details. So with my band affiliation, I always make sure after we've agreed upon the terms, I have them allow me to like talk to the parents and talk to the kids so that I can get them hyped up, so I can help them to understand why am I doing this? And then how much money will go back to the student accounts. And then this year, I actually, because the students have a tendency to not participate as much in the fundraisers, I was able to get the directors to get on board with getting pied in the face. So I kind of got a competition between the different sections within the band, and the section who was able to sell the most bundles was able to get the directors pied in the face. So be creative and try to find different ways to get the organization and whoever's participating excited about it. And that's just going to, again, increase your PRV, increase your contacts with people. So once you get all of your orders collected, you collect your money, you collect the forms, then you're going to actually place the orders on your workstation. And the way that you want to place your orders is obviously going to be different depending on what kind of fundraiser that you chose. But, you know, bundle and save, use your host rewards, use your half offs, and that's going to give you the best deal. And it's going to, again, allow you to give back more to the organization. I always, no matter what kind of fundraiser I do, I always offer a party link so that people can place online orders as well. That allows people that are out of town, people that want to still support but are not local and can't do the scent circle or fragrance flower or whatever product, they can still order. You're also getting the contact information from them immediately. And again, you can follow up with them. Once your order arrives, so once you get all those scent circles or product orders in, make sure you label everything. So you're labeling every single scent circle that comes in. And then you're going through the order forms and you're putting them all together. So I just do something really simple. Like I get like again, this is band. So I just have these little cellophane bags. And then I just put like all the scent circles together. You can see that it's labeled. And then I just put a simple sticker on. The sticker will be a little bit different than this. My printer wasn't working, but it'll say thank you for supporting like the band, and then it'll have like my QR code so they can reorder if they want to. And then all the orders for the same like student will go in a bag, and then that's given to that student to distribute out to their people. And then a copy of their order form will go in that bag as well. Does anybody, I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions about anything? That's kind of the down and dirty.
No, but I think that's exactly what we were hoping for, is that it's really just a matter of collecting those orders, and then you're getting the product, making sure that you're labeling it, you're bundling it to give back to the participant. And money collection can be handled in a bunch of different ways. It can be handled where people are sending the consultant directly the funds. People, you know, they're a lot of the order forms, at least for the scent circles, they kind of look like the old school Girl Scout cookie order form, right? Where you just fill it in and check the boxes, and then you pay the person your money, and then they give one check or they give the amount of cash at the end. It just kind of, once again, depends. This is kind of like the contract Amy alluded to, the contract. It's really just the statement of here's the logistics of the fundraiser. Here's the start date, the end date. Here's how we'll take payment. Here's when you can expect, you know, delivery of the product and things like that. So I think that you did an outstanding job covering kind of from, you know, the overview. So thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Um,
Can I add something?
please.
When it comes down to trying to find people to do a fundraiser with you, oh God, you're gonna do it to me too. Um, sorry, you have people in the waiting room. I get distracted easily.
Got it.
I would say ask everyone, like, don't just post it on Facebook. Hey, I'm looking to do fundraisers. Who's interested? Who needs some extra funding? Like, actually go out there and ask. And because I feel like, I mean, I was right in the car riding with one of my friends, and I was like, I really want to do some fundraisers. Like, who can you think of that I should ask? And she rattled off like 3 or 4 different people and the contact people for those things. And so just because you can't necessarily think of who to do the fundraiser with, somebody is going to have some ideas to be able to help you with that. And I like to reward those people. So I tell them, like, hey, if this pans out with so and so, like, I'm going to hook you up with some free Scentsy, because I want them to continue to send good leads my way. So not only am I rewarding the person who sent me in the right direction, because then they might also be on my side, like, hey, you should really do that fundraiser. You should really do that fundraiser. There's something in it for them at that point, right? But I also like to reward whoever is coordinating the fundraiser with me, because that's not always the same person, right? So if it's, whether it's the band teacher or it's the cheerleading coach or it's the pastor of the youth group or whatever it is, I like to, at the end of the fundraiser, use some of the host rewards to thank them for doing it, because at the end of the day, if you do a good job with that fundraiser and that coordinator is kept happy, they're going to do it again. So when I work with my nursing students every year, you better believe that I hook up the Student Nursing Association president that I am doing all of the communicating with throughout that fundraiser process, because then next year when they are ready to do another fundraiser again, there's somebody who can say that they've handed that role off to the next person. You want to do a fundraiser with them, and it's going to hook you up. So remember to work with those people so that you can continue to work with those fundraisers in the long term. So some of these fundraisers we've been doing for years. You get in and then you can continue to do them. Kind of like those events that we see people do, these big events. Well, they've been doing that big event for years. Fundraisers are no different. If you treat them right and they have a good experience, they're going to continue to do fundraising with you.
And in the beginning of August, I had posted on Facebook a it was a post on my page that just said, hey, did you know that I do fundraisers? And I'm looking to give money to organizations that want to fundraise, whatever. And I had about I want to say 9 or 11 people that I ended up having conversations with about having a Scent Circle fundraiser in August based on that post. They commented, we ended up private messaging or talking or texting. We had conversations about running a Scent Circle fundraiser in August. I kept a note of all of those 9 or 11 people that I had the conversation with in August. And just today, because now it's nearing the end of August and I'm not going to be running a Scent Circle fundraiser anymore because we're the end of the month is drawing near. So I reached out to those 9 people that didn't bite on the Scent Circle fundraiser for August, and I sent them the fragrance flower information and said, here is the fundraising opportunity that I'm running in September. Just wanted you to have the most updated information, because the Scent Circle fundraiser is now that's a thing of the past. But keeping that prospect list, this ties into our high five conversation, our high five conversations that we're doing this month, and really tracking who we're talking to. Because if I hadn't made note of the 9 people that I had conversations with about fundraising in August, I would have had a tougher time reaching back out to those 9 if I could remember who they were, and saying, hey, all right, new fundraising opportunity for September. Let's get you on the books. So keeping track of who you are talking to. I've had 3 join conversations in the last day and a half. I am tracking those people's names that I had those join conversations with so that I can follow back up with them in the future. Same with host conversations. Same with fundraising conversations. Same with follow-up, period. You have to be tracking who you are talking to, who you are saying things to, so that you have the opportunity to follow back up with them and they don't just fall by the wayside. Because had I not made a good list of my fundraiser prospects off of that one Facebook post, I would not have sent off 9 fragrance flower fundraising opportunities today for September. So, okay, Anna, are you working in the chat?
Yeah.
Anything we should,
Oh, I was gonna say, it's not always necessarily what you say. Also, putting flyers in your orders or in your Happy Mail to let people know of the opportunities that you have is also an amazing idea. I did make these flyers, yeah, I think yesterday. I took my picture and my contact information off of them so that you guys can use them. And this does have a chart on it if that's what you want to use. Other than that, it's not editable. It's just contact information in your own image or whatever if you want to put your picture or something. But putting that in your Happy Mail or your orders is another way for people to understand that this is an opportunity that you offer as a consultant. Question in the chat was, if they have an out of the area fundraiser and then you ship it off, can they use that as a tax write-off? Can you write that expense off on your taxes, or how do you go about shipping it out? Yes, that's a business expense. I obviously can't give you any tax advice, so that's off the record, but it's an expense associated with your business, right? So I would think that any tax professional would agree with that.
yep. And that's why you also have to take into account, maybe in the case of an out of the area fundraiser, if you know that you are going to be shipping to, depending on what it's shipping, because the weight of sending scent circles is going to be a heck of a lot different than the weight of sending warmers or wax bars. So, but maybe when you go to do your fundraiser, because it's out of the area, then you take that into account. Maybe you're only giving $7 instead of $8 to accommodate for that shipping cost. This is why we say you really have to cater what is within your, what's the word I'm looking for? Anna, help me out. But you have to take into consideration that how local or not local, the long distance, the size, the product type that you're working with. That's why we say this isn't necessarily always a one size fits all fundraising, template, which also makes me want to say a disclaimer on that sheet that Anna just held up. We're going to share that resource with you, but it's very important that you understand you do not have to run it that way. You do not have to give that percentage to the organization. We are merely providing you with some resources as a springboard to get you thinking, oh, okay, I'm thinking about doing a buddy drive. Here's how I'm going to structure my buddy drive, but here is how somebody else structured theirs, at least so I have something to look at and go by. But I'm going to give 20% commission on mine instead of 25% commission, or whatever the case is. You always know that when we're providing fundraising tools, and this really goes with any kind of tools across the board, anytime we're giving you an example of something, it's really for you to just generate an idea, see how somebody else is doing it, and then make it your own. So please understand that just because Anna's flyer that she shared is saying, here's how much I'm charging and here's how much I'm giving, you don't have to do it that way. You can charge a different amount. You can give less. You can give more. It's up to you. You just can't advertise it publicly. Anytime you're talking dollars and percentages, it's a personal special. Unless it's 10% off on the catalog, and that's by Scentsy.
I did have a private message that was questioning that. Now, I'm currently running a Scent Circle fundraiser, and they are selling their packs of Scent Circles for $20. And she noted that one of the participants had posted on Facebook that they were selling 6-pack of Scent Circles for $20. That's okay. That's not me advertising that I'm selling 6-pack of Scent Circles for $20, or that I'm saying I'll give you an $8 for every pack of scent circles you sell. They're allowed to do that. They're allowed to sell what it is that they're selling at that price. Otherwise, how are they going to generate their sales, right? So,
Yeah,
that's
customers don't abide by the same consultant agreement that we do. So
Yeah.
they are able to advertise. And I wanted to go back really quickly to something that Anna had said about she was talking to a friend of hers, and her friend was helping her brainstorm on fundraising opportunities and possibilities. I did that very same thing, and I find that to be a very useful tool, is asking your friends. Hey, I'm not asking you, friend, if you have a fundraising opportunity. I'm asking if you know of anybody that might need a fundraising opportunity, because I did the very same thing and I asked a circle of my friends. And in doing so, I was like, you guys help me brainstorm who could use fundraising right now. Like what? And in doing that brain dump, my friend said, well, you know what? My son's baseball team does a car wash. It would be really cool to offer scent circles in conjunction with their already existing car wash. And so we were able to kind of brainstorm on how we could make a scent circle fundraiser run in conjunction with their existing car wash. And I would have never thought, not that I would have never thought to ask her about fundraising, but it only came up because we were talking about fundraising. She would have never thought of us having a Scent Circle fundraiser in conjunction with the team car wash if we weren't having a conversation about it. And I think that's my point, is that you have to talk about fundraisers to book fundraisers. Bottom line. Okay. Anything that didn't, oh, yes, did you get Taylor's question, Anna, in the chat about, do you, a specific scent? And
Yeah.
then she also said, what happens if it sells out?
Right. So really, when it comes to the scent circles, because there are so many different options involved, that's why you'll see a lot of those forms say tropical 6-pack or cinnamon 6-pack or vanilla 6-pack. With the fragrance flowers, it does the form that I'm going to be using, the form that I made, and you can make your own again. It does allow them to choose which scent that they want. So on the front, it will say Christmas cottage or cider mill or whatever. And on the back, it has the descriptions of all these scents. Now, what happens if one of them sells out? That's why I'm so adamant about making sure people give me the phone number. So that way I can call and ask for an alternative or a backup choice. I know that Amy put in the chat that she says that substitutions will be made in the case that something does back order, and she can swap those out at her discretion. I would love to be able to have an opportunity to need to reach out to somebody, just because anytime you can have a conversation, you can continue to build on that relationship with somebody. So I want a phone number with every name. I don't want just Amy wants a tropical 6-pack. I want Amy, oh, I don't want to use your last name because we're on Zoom, so that's okay. I want first name, last name, and a phone number, so that way I can reach out and have that conversation. Not only that, but once those orders are going in, I want to be able to reach out to each participant. And yes, I literally go through each participant in this and say, thank you so much for helping support the such and such fundraiser. I wanted to let you know that the orders have been placed, and I'll let you know when I've got them back in my hands. And then I'll try and use the participant that's associated with that too. You know, it's so great of you to support so-and-so in their dance team. And then when the orders come in and I'm getting everything packed, I can reach out again. I'm going to say, hey, I just wanted to let you know the orders are in. I'm going to be handing them off to Annabella, and she's going to have your order for you to pick up, or maybe you guys can meet up soon. And then in a couple weeks, I can come back and say, hey, how'd you like those scent circles that you got from the fundraiser? This gives me the opportunity to have at least 3 contacts with each one of those customers who just bought a 6-pack of scent circles to support someone else. And that's how you build the relationships. And that's what's so powerful about fundraisers. And I know that we like to do fundraisers because it adds to our PRV. And yes, it's points for the incentive and it's a great tax deduction. But ideally, this is how we meet new people. And if you're not partying or you're not doing events, fundraisers are a fantastic way to meet new people if you use those contacts appropriately. So back in the day when I first started doing fundraisers, I would get all of my order forms back, and I would total, okay, I need to order this many of this scent and this many of this scent, this many of this scent. And I would put all the orders in under me, and I would buy 17 of this scent circle and 45 of this scent circle. But I didn't put any of the customer information in. And I was counting on those orders going back to the customer, and that whatever I put in that little bag for them, that they would reach back out to me eventually if they ever wanted more Scentsy. But you aren't building a relationship when you do that. And so what I found is that if I take the time and I put in each customer's name and their phone number and what they ordered, I'm able to do much, much better follow-up work with those people. And should they go to Scentsy.com to place an order with their next order, instead of going to my website, the last person that's on file that they purchased with, it very well could have been me, and it will get assigned to me as the consultant because I was the last person to put their information in on our workstation. So it is important to put those customers in with their name and their phone number or their email address, something that's identifying them, name and email, name and phone number. That's how you're going to be able to recapture those orders from people who do go back to Scentsy.com rather than your personal website. So it's important. And having those conversations is key. It's
Well,
key.
and you even brought up a good point the other day when you and I were talking about this, that now with the function of Scentsy Connect, when you enter in these orders and you put them correctly under a customer's name, that's going to transfer over to Scentsy Connect, which is our follow-up system. So now all these fundraiser participants that you put their information in for are going to transfer over to Scentsy Connect, and you will be able to follow up with them in your systematic follow-up routine with Scentsy Connect. So, did we do an okay job tonight covering Denise is giving us a thumbs up. So that's reassuring. Thank you, Denise. But did we do an okay job at least giving you a little bit more context around fundraising? We don't want fundraising to be so scary that you shy away from doing it. There is a lot of opportunity and potential with fundraising for many of the reasons that Anna said, that Amy said. I mean, your new customers, the opportunity to get product in people's hands. This really is an excellent opportunity to get your name out there. But we don't want you to be fearful to do them. And once you understand the basic concept around fundraising and using Scentsy as the vehicle to do so, you'll feel a lot more comfortable saying, yeah, hey, I've got 10 different ways that I can help you raise money for your XYZ cause or organization. And why not use me? I want to help you. I want to help you achieve your goal. And so good, a lot of you are dropping in the chat that this was helpful. This was helpful. This was helpful. So good. I'm so, so glad we could talk about fundraisers and the logistics of each fundraiser till we were blue in the face. And at least we wanted to give you an overview. And I think by the looks of the chat, you're telling us that we did an okay job tonight, giving you an overview. Anna.
We're also going to supply you with a link of some
Yes.
fundraising sources that if you aren't feeling empowered to make your own and you're willing to just use whatever rubric was made by me or Melissa, those will be in there for you, and they'll be in one place, whether it's a flyer for a buddy drive or fragrance flower fundraiser or car bar fundraiser. There will be some resources in there for you to use, or be inspired to make your own.
Yep. So we will provide you with, let me tell you this so you know what to look for. We will provide you with the recording of this call. So it'll be tomorrow morning on our respective pages. We will have the recording to this call, and in the recording of this call will be the link that Anna just alluded to, and we will also include that on the pages when we let you know of this recording. So you are looking for a link that says fundraising resources, and we will make sure we get that posted, and then that's what you'll be looking for, and that will send you to the folder that's going to have all of the fundraising resources in it. We'll be padding that file this evening, making sure that we have everything that you guys need, but look for that tomorrow. Okay. Rand, would you like to be the giveaway queen this evening?
Always fun. Yeah, I'm ready to do a fundraiser. Hope everybody else do it. I think it looks like everybody else is ready to do one too. So she's awesome. All right, Chels Sullivan. I don't know if you can see that.
Yay! Congratulations,
There you
Chels.
go.
That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. You guys, thank you very much for tuning in. And yes, where do you look for it? On the Together We Sent team page, the Flash Family of Teams team page will be that resource. And that's also where we will post the recording for this call. Just a little FYI, all of these Tuesday night calls are recorded and they are uploaded to YouTube at the web address www.togetherwesent.com/YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and see the recording archive of these Tuesday calls, it's at togetherwesent.com/YouTube. That will take you to these recordings. And then within the body of this recording that gets uploaded to YouTube tomorrow morning will be the link with the resources. We also always post over on our team pages to let you know the recording is up and here's any pertinent resources and tools. We try to do our best to cover as many, to reach you in as many ways as possible. And so when in doubt, it's always on the team page. Everything happens on our Facebook team pages. I'm just going to tell you. Tomorrow we have virtual cubicle in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Pacific, and in the evening time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I had to do a little bit of backwards time zoning. And then Thursday, we'll have our bonus Thursday night shift. As always, it's a typical week here for Together We Sent and Flash Family of Teams with our Tuesday night call, our Wednesday cubicles, our Thursday night shifts, and our fabulous consultants. That's you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. See you later.